Hello folks, it's JDporkchop and welcome to another episode of Surviving Space Engineers. And the sun is rising over our ice lake and I have been a little bit busy. All I have done is basically rebuilt what we had at our spawn point. So we have the basic assembler, basic refinery and a cargo container for all our junk. I've given the... and we've run out of jetpack fuel. I've given the buggy a little paint job, so it's nice and red, so we can't lose it. And today we are gonna start working on new stuff. So I've had a little scout around, just when I was sort of kind of trying to pick a spot for us to build the base. And, I was trying to find a kind of flat area. There's some cobalt and silver, nickel, silicon, and magnesium. Over there. I haven't found iron yet, which is going to be the goal for today, and we also need to get some jet fuel because I've run out. So we need to build a O2 H2 generator. Now, anyone who paid attention in basic chemistry will know that water has two base elements in it: hydrogen and oxygen. There, like that. I've got all the parts already. So what this does is you jam it full of ice and it electrolyzes that ice down into those two components. The oxygen we can breathe, and the hydrogen, which is very flammable. Anyone who knows about the Hindenburg will know exactly how flammable hydrogen is. There you go, it's already pulled the ice in, and I can grab a couple of bottles. There we go, so we are all filled up. So yeah, hydrogen is going to be used as a fuel source to get us to space. So we are going to need a lot of ice, which is one of the reasons we moved here in the first place. If ice is going to be our main fuel source, it's good to be close to it. So, next things next. Iron. This game, you need a massive amount of iron. Just to give you an idea, one block is 25 steel plates. So we need just tons of it. You know, you will be mining more iron than everything else combined. So we need to find a good source of it, and we need to get a lot of it dug out, and back to the base. So I think we need to build a little mining buggy. I don't want to use this one because it's got our survival thing on the back. If this gets destroyed, we lose our spawn point, and if we die, the spawn will basically be back up in another little pod, and we could land anywhere on the surface of the planet. So let's get a couple of little things out. We're going to need light armor blocks. We're gonna do the same thing we did before with the landing gear. We are going to need the mining head, drill head. And now let me think, what else will we need? Probably need conveyors. Now I'm trying to think whether I want to build a drone mining buggy or one with a cockpit. And I'm thinking probably a drone, to be honest, because that means that we can just send it off and we don't actually have to leave our base. It won't be automated, we'll still pilot it, but I really wish it was more of a flat area. But we'll still be piloting it, but we will be doing it remotely. So, whoops. Right, there we go. Now, let me think. Now, I'm going to do this build on camera, and then a lot of the others, like if it's something big, I will probably do it in creative and then just bring the blueprint. Ooh. We'll do it that way because this could take hours. Now we are working with a very small amount of resources. Like I said, I haven't found any iron yet, so when I was digging around I got a little bit of nickel, cobalt and silver, and I grabbed some rocks when I was doing that as well. But I think we're going to be pretty much out of plates already, so we might have to go jam more rocks in this thing, which isn't ideal. Haven't got any left. So, what else do we need? We're going to need wheels on it. I think we want the base probably a little bit wider. Probably go with 5 wide. Go. Yeah. And then I think this is going to be carrying quite a lot of weight when it's fully laden. So we might go for a 6-wheel vehicle. 2 at the back. Oh, 4 at the back and 2 at the front. And then all the cargo space will be at the back. So, right, let's jump up here and start. Well, actually, I won't do any of the welding. Let's just sort of get the general scope of it out, and then I can do some welding off camera. So we need wheel could not be placed. Why not? Not. Oh, yeah, 'cause my head was in the way. That's why. Alright, whoops, wrong way. Let's think. Probably what, about 3 apart? Yes. No, that's too close. Oh no, it's still... Yeah, no, it's too close. Let's move that across one. I do have, what am I block for, number 8? I do have blueprints for all this sort of stuff, but I just thought it'd be more interesting to sort of organically build something. Gonna probably end up regretting that, but anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. They seem okay. Yeah, okay. So then we want to go. We don't want it to be too long, because then you have a problem with it bottoming out. But we've got a lot of stuff to fit on this. It needs batteries, and it needs. That's the wrong one. Batteries and what's the other thing I'm trying to say? Cargo containers, as well as obviously the drill heads. Right, is that gonna be? I think. Yeah, okay. Let's just go one more out, actually. And then the front wheels, I'm gonna set back a little bit because I've got to stick the drill heads. Wrong button. Drill heads on the front. So let's. We want quite a broad digging head on it. So let's have a look. It's not quite what I want to go. Let's stick our connector on actually first. Ooh. Interior plates, let's grab some of those and probably put how much, oh that's it, we're all out of iron. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to grab a few more rocks because we are out of building material already. This is what I'm saying, like you will burn through such a huge amount of iron that it's just not even funny. Right, let's just stick our drill heads on. So, is that a bit too high? Is that a bit too low? Well, the way we're going to sort of dig up and down with this is to drop the wheels. So, it doesn't matter if it's a little too high. So yeah, we'll stick that at that height. And then we want it to be quite wide because otherwise you won't be able to fit. You know, if we dig a hole and the what do you call it? The hole isn't as wide as the buggy, then we're going to have problems. Right, so with that in mind, do we actually want to go another one out? Or is that going to start getting a bit ridiculous? Let's go with 4 heads for now, and then we can always add another 2 later. Right, so we need to do the piping for this. So we need to go number 7, stick that there, and that there. Tell you what, just do connectors. And then, now, what do we want behind the drill heads? It's gonna be 2 blocks, then we'll probably put a light. So let's get rid of, we don't need wheels anymore, we don't need those anymore. Let's go down. Gonna need lights, we're gonna need an order detector. Where is that? Let's just search it instead of being an idiot. Whoops, if I could spell. There we go. We need to put a camera on it somewhere as well. So let's think about this. Right, so it doesn't, the order detector doesn't need to go on the front, so we can put the light here, and then we'll put block there, and we'll put the camera on that block, and that should be fine. And then behind this, put the ore detector here, and we need an aerial. Where is the aerial? No, seriously, where is the aerial? I'm sure I'm like getting bad at if I can spell it right. Where? It's not called an aerial? Maybe I can't spell. Maybe I'm just not looking properly. Oh, I'll find it in a minute. Right, let me think. We need... So, behind that we need the batteries. Go batteries. That can go here. Now, I think probably need 2. Yeah, we'll go. Is that going to be too high? Well, let's see how big our cargo boxes are first. So we're going to go with the medium cargo boxes. And yeah, see now that's higher than the cargo boxes, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Just see how big they are on their side. That looks better, doesn't it? So let's just try putting down the cargo. But yeah, okay, so that's how we'll do it. Now, oops. Hatches on the we need the little hatches on the side, the big hatch sticking out the back. Now we'll probably want to do this a little bit further back actually, which means I might have made this a little longer than it needs to be, which I suppose we can just add more things onto it. Right, that's 1, we'll do 2, I haven't got any more, just not enough space. Okay, so I guess we could put 3. What else do we need to put on this? We've got the battery, we've got... everything else is just going to be small blocks, I think. Let's just think about this for a second. What else do we need to... I don't think we need to put anything else, so we could, theoretically, just put another... Now, we've got to be careful of weight, though. If this thing gets too heavy, with 3 full cargo containers, is it still going to be able to get off the ground? That's the important question. Do you know, I've just had a thought. I think we haven't unlocked them. Aha! There we go. Antenna, not aerial. So we need to build a beacon, which is stupid, because I don't know how to use them, but there you go. Battery, we don't have batteries. Stick a beacon down. I'm just going to make it and then delete it. What do I need? Radio components and small steel tube. Okay. Go. Whoops. Hold on. Okay. So... if you double click left, it blocks the... Oh, that's annoying. This is why I like to do it in creative, and then... that's what we'll be doing in future. Well, not immediately, but definitely further down the road we'll be using projection blocks. And then... yeah, and then obviously have like a building drone that we use just to... Okay, so that's where the ore detector is, that's where the camera's going. So we need to put the antenna, not aerial. Needs to go here. Just turn it round. Now we have a light on the front. Do we need anything else? Let's think about this. We can maybe put another light on the top there if it's needed. But let's just see how dark it is. Then obviously I've got to connect this to these, and we need to put a connector on the back. And this connector is how we're going to recharge this drone, and also how we unload it. So that is it, I think. All done. Obviously, maybe a little bit of iteration here and there. Might put some more strutting, because he's sort of quite precarious. And yeah, but I am now going to weld all this up. Obviously, going to have to go and dig some rocks to get a little bit more steel plates, and I will be back momentarily. And we are just about done. I had to do about an hour's worth of mining rocks in... I basically built a little open pit quarry down there. And I am sick of mining by hand, so I am glad this is finished. The last two items that we need to make sure we stick on is the remote control block, so that we can actually control this thing, which we will stick there. Actually, yeah, no, it should be fine there. If it gets damaged, just gotta be careful. And then camera. Now, I just need to make sure this is going to be the right way around. Right, the little light needs to be on the bottom. I don't know if it makes a difference, but just in case it does, I don't want the image to be upside down. So this is how we are going to remote control this thing. Now, obviously we need an aerial, which we have down there. That aerial has a 5-kilometer range base. You can turn it up, but if you do, it will use more energy. And I can't quite reach my camera. I'm not going to destroy this, am I? Now we are completely out of resources. So between this episode and the next one, because we've only really got about 10 minutes to take this for a little test drive, I am going to do lots of mining with this thing, just because it'd be good to do it off camera and have a good supply of stuff for the next project. Get this sorted. We have a few settings that we're going to go through. Now normally I would build a flying mining machine, but with the lack of uranium, I don't know how feasible that would be with a hydrogen engine or solar panels. Right, that's all done. Also, I put the connectors, so this will all go down, and this is a conveyor sorter just to suck. It basically will pull. We have to do those settings. Now, to access your remote control terminal, you're going to hit this up here or press Shift K. And we're going to go into the terminal for this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to rename it to Mining Drone. There we go. And then we are going to go into here. We're going to... one of the suspension. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, so first things first, let's get the two sorters set up. We want them to be set to drain all. So they're going to suck the ore from the drills and put them in these 3 containers. These 3 containers are about 3,000 each. So 9,000 units of ore per run is pretty good. Right, what else do we need to set up? Let's see. I'll probably set all the wheels up off camera because that's a really fiddly thing, but then I'll show you what I've done afterwards. Now this thing is going to roll down the hill, so we'll just take control and we will hit the brakes. There we go. And then come out. Ooh. Go. Perfect. It's a little bit longer than I thought I should. So it's sitting so low. Yeah, I need to go and fiddle with the wheels, but it's a little longer than I planned to have it, but it should be okay. And if not, we can maybe remove a battery and chuck cut a section out the middle and sort of. But anyway. Right, so obviously I'm going to make another cut, but it's just to go through all the settings. But this is it. It's all done, all set up, ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to do the settings and be right back. And all set up. So we have, if I go back into my terminal, we have all the wheels. I have turned down the steering angle a little bit just because it's quite a long vehicle. I don't want it to flip. I've turned the power on the suspension up, which is why it was all sagging. And I've turned the speed down. I think that was everything I did. And then I'll put them all into one group, just so that when you put more power to the wheels or anything, we can just do it as a group. Then also made a separate group, just the front wheels. And this is so, if we take this height offset here, and if you watch the mining thing in the background, I can actually sink our suspension down to the point where we're now pointing at the ground. Okay, the back wheels are off the ground, so we maybe wouldn't go to that extreme, but we definitely can sink the nose down to start mining down into the ground. So let's get up on top of it. We should build like a little chair or something. I've tried to keep the profile quite low because obviously it's going to be digging holes. So we are going to take control and we need to set up some short keys. So we will set the ore detector on and off. Set the light on and off. Where's the light? This. Now, I know you can press L and it does it, but I just like having it on the hotbar. The connector, we're going to switch lock. Also connector, maybe as close as that bit. Let's put it up here. Throw out. And throw out basically means it will try and eject anything that's inside it. And when we're just digging through rock, we can throw some of that rock out. I think that is us. Let me think. Anything else? Oh, and the drills, obviously. Probably need to make a group for those. So let's just come at this, go back into the terminal. Make a group of drills. And drills. There we go. Go back into this. Groups. Probably should have that on number 1, but it doesn't really matter. So let's just, there we go. Right, to power this, the way we're going to do it is charge it. But for now, we have 13, if you look in the bottom right corner, we have 13 hours of charge. Well, it fluctuates as I actually use things. But it's enough to go and give it a little test. The next thing we have to do is find some iron. All the other stuff, you're really not that bothered about. And obviously nickel and silicon, we're digging so much... Careful, don't want to break it. I have nothing, no resources. I'll tell you what I'm doing wrong. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing wrong. So we just need to stop for a second. Yeah, I've got no resources left to fix this if I break it, and I'm sick of mining rocks. Terminal. We need to go into the remote control we need to set a camera. So we put that camera on. Is that everything we need to do here? Yes. So let's come out of this. Come out of this. You just stand to the side. Go back in. Take control again. That is a terrible camera placement. Oh well. We'll just have to. Now, right. Whoa, yeah, we've got some issues with this. This may need a little bit of a redesign. Whoa, it's really front heavy. I'll tell you what I've probably done is with the batteries on the front as well as the drills, and the drills are hanging out quite far over the front. I don't know. We'll work on it. Right, let's take control again. Out of the camera view. Need to work on that camera placement as well. Let's get digging. I will maybe think about doing some iterations in between episodes, because I'm not happy with this. I need to move the batteries further back, maybe even get rid of one of the batteries and make the chassis a little bit smaller. But for now we are digging, which means no more handballing stuff, which I just was driving me crazy. It was a good hour to get all the rocks required to get this thing finished. So, you know, just not ideal. But it's the start. You know, you're very limited, and this is the new release where they've deliberately tried to, you know, make things more difficult for you. In the old original, before this update, you know, you used to just fly through the first section of the game. So, can't complain too much, I guess. And, right, we'll turn this off. And, I need to move those short keys around. Right. So we'll look inside. And that one's full of rocks. Just open them all up. So yeah, there we go. All full of rocks. And we can drive this back up to the base, and I'll fit a connector on, and we can just dump it straight into here. There's the back of the basic refinery. Put a little bit of piping down, have a connector here, and we'll just reverse it onto the connector. Might have to build a platform, because this is not very flat. But I'll do all of that, and yeah, in the next episode we will get a mining area for iron and start working on the next project. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If anything that you want me to work on in the next one, please feel free to put it in the comments, and maybe consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next episode.